And then because Bob and Gwen's daughter, Nicole, was one of our producers, and she supplied us. There's a Verdon Fosse legacy that has a giant archive, and there's also a Library of Congress archive. We were able to look at a lot of still photos of them in their apartment. So we had a lot of information of different spaces between the images and their daughter of how they lived in their space.
Right.
And so we needed to keep it honest enough. It wasn't a replication of their apartment, but it was certain elements were replicated, like the crushed velvet orange wall covering in their living room. That was really theirs, which you cannot buy.
No.
That. So we got crushed velvet and made it into our own wall covering. But some of that we had to kind of invent, and in a way that worked for the blocking of the scenes also. But that was tricky because it was their home, and it was very important that it felt like their home, even if it didn't always mimic exactly what their home was.
I believe I read somewhere that their daughter was really emotionally moved by all the sets that you recreated, and really pleased with like how much detail you gave to her mom and everything. I mean, that's got to be such a compliment.
It was amazing when, we all sort of were holding our breath when Nicole walked onto the set for the first time to kind of see it almost finished and not knowing exactly what she would say. And it was really, really important to everybody that it passed her litmus test of truth. And she was incredibly moved by it, as I can't even imagine being her and having your life, acted out like this, especially because it's a complicated one. Their relationship was complicated. Her relationship to them was complicated.
It's not Disney.
No, it's not Disney. She was very honest and open and wanted the story to be told. So the fact that she walked in and really loved it and had some very minor but really interesting details to add. So the night the set was done, I went out and I sort of took care of the last of the details. And, you never know if these things are seen on camera, but they add that element of veracity into it. Like one small example was we loved her kitchen. Gwen was a big cook. And so we spent a lot of time making this kitchen really feel like hers.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lot of pictures of the kitchen, so we knew what it looked like, and we took some liberties with it, but in general the overall vibe is very much like their real kitchen. And she loved the kitchen, and the one comment she had in the kitchen was, my mom took a lot of vitamins, and this was the brand. And wow. So I went to the vitamin shop and got, a whole stash of her brand of vitamins and put them onto the open shelves in the kitchen. And it was just little details like that right. We added in at the end from her. Feedback that, in the living room, she said, it's all exactly how it should feel. But my mom loved green because she knew that this sort of mossy shade of green made her hair pop. And she always really, she knew she was a star. She knew what worked for her. So she filled her world with things that worked for her. And so I went out and I got some mossy green pillows and added them in with her. She also loved animal prints. So we mixed them in with the animal prints and, came to the final place like that. So that was a huge compliment, and I think the actors felt really good knowing that they were, because Michelle Williams was so in it, and I think it just for her really fed her performance to really know that, especially through Nicole's eyes, this was their space.